Springer. This is a team that simply does not know how to lose. They do not know how to lose. And it wasn't going to start against a mid team like the Vancouver Canucks. When an organization comes out and tells you, we're selling everyone not named Quinn Hughes, and we're going to try and get a first round pick plus for Kiefer Sherwood. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching that guy play hockey. Well, you know, the organization isn't a serious one, and I'm talking about the Vancouver Canucks. 3-1 is your final. Nathan MacKinnon scores in the final minute of the first and the second period. I believe he would have been the first hockey player in NHL history to complete a hat trick by scoring a goal in the final minute of every single period of the game. He didn't quite get the shot off from his own end with the empty netter, even though Adam Foote pulled Kevin Lankinen for 3.5 minutes in this game. It was going to happen. It didn't quite, but the Avs still find a way to get 2 points.
Yeah, look, man. So we previewed this game last show after the Canadiens win, and it was pretty much just like, what I said is I cannot see this not being 2 points for Colorado. I could not fathom.
They
It's
were
not even.
minus
I was gonna say envision.
395
Fucking
favorites on
envisioning
the money
shit.
line. Minus 395.
Yeah. No. They opened. It was funny. I thought they should have been like, now. Actually, when that game started, the live line was up to minus 410. But
It's because probably Nichushkin got put in the lineup, and then they went, oh,
but it was
that's worth a dime.
So last night it was like minus 290 or something. It didn't crack the 300s, and I was like, I wouldn't do that. Then it was announced that Nichushkin would play. It was up to minus 325. And then as the game started, it was live line above minus 400. And Vancouver scores first in this game. Clench your buttholes. And hey, who knows? Look, it's an 82 game season. You can rest on your laurels. You can get sleepy. And every team in professional sports does that at some point or another. But short of that, this was going to be 2 points for Colorado. And it's funny because I think it was the Nashville game a couple weekends ago where, Nashville played pretty well, but the Avs ended up winning 3-0. Now it was really just 1 goal and 2 empty netters. But it was like, yeah, of course they're beating Nashville. Like, you could have. So what I tweeted out was, you could have just simmed that game. This tonight was even more so. This was simulate the game. If you are playing an NHL season in the NHL video game, just sim tonight.
Yeah, you'll be fine. 9 times out of 10, you'll be fine.
It was like the Avs played very well, not even their best. That was just a sim. This is 2 points. There's no doubt about it. Get us the fuck out of here and out to the East Coast.
It was spring. There were 5 minutes in the hockey game where Colorado didn't completely dominate everything that was happening. And it was the first 4 minutes of the game and I wouldn't even call the last minute of the hockey game, between 3 minutes and 30 seconds and about 2 minutes left in the hockey game. Vancouver controlled it because they were up 6-on-5, and Colorado was just icing the puck, trying to score the empty netter. Those were the only 5 minutes where Colorado wasn't in complete control. And again, it matters when you score, right? We were talking about it all last year of like, when you give up a goal, Alexander Georgiev, it matters when you score. And MacKinnon being able to pot one at the end of the first to tie this game up at 1 opens up the floodgates in the second period, where you just have the puck the entire time. And that's what the second half of the first did feel like as well. And not only do you control puck, or you control the puck, Brock Nelson scores in that period on a little breakaway, and lo and behold, a 2-1 game, which would have felt a little clenchy at that point, because like, you hadn't scored despite having the puck for 90% of the first 40 minutes. MacKinnon shows up in the final minute of that second period. And when you score that goal, I think Vancouver had to know, we're not coming away with a point here.
Yeah. And nice little pass from Gabe Landeskog and that one-time shot. And I was actually listening to Connor on the drive up from work, and he brought up Kevin Lankinen's career numbers against the Avs. Not good. Not good. Now, I think he actually was better. His goals against the Avs was like a 4-2 in his career. So this was good for Kevin Lankinen, but that's a third goal. So you're Vancouver, you got to get 3. And I mean, in this building, the Avs are obviously they're 11-0-2 at home. Hell, they're damn good on the road as well. Damn you, Boston Bruins. Shout out to Casey.
Talk about another dominant game for the Avs too. They dominated that hockey game.
Yeah, they did. Just there was no way. There was just absolutely no way. When MacKinnon made it 3-1 off, and that nice little one-time shot, short side, almost too easy. That's your ball game right there. And again, the reason no goals scored in the third. They don't get an empty netter with Lankinen getting pulled with 3 minutes to go. Just sim the damn thing. Like, just get off the ice. It's over.
Just sim the game and go to New York.
It's over. It's over.
All right. I would be remiss not to bring this up. Scott Wedgwood leaves
obviously
in the middle of this game, and he had gone to the bench a couple of times to go and grab what looked like some pills. I don't know if it would have been Advil, Tylenol, something to maybe even stop nausea. There has been some illness ripping through the Avs locker room. Nathan MacKinnon, Parker Kelly did not participate in practice yesterday. And Bruce Brown was also sick for the Nuggets yesterday, even though he played north of 30 minutes in their loss yesterday, again, despite another Nikola Jokic triple-double. So there are some sicknesses rolling through Ball Arena. I expect that it's something flu related. It's that time of year, and Wedgwood skated off under his own power. It didn't look like he tweaked anything. I just simply believe it was, I'm going to try and gut this through. I don't feel great. And it probably got to the point where it was either like headaches, nausea, a combination of both. That's my expectation.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out when exactly he got hurt, quote unquote. That's good insight by you. He did make a nice save midway through the second period of this game.
The breakaway on,
was it Sherwood?
On Kiefer Sherwood.
Yeah. Now, so Mackenzie Blackwood comes in, and you don't miss a beat at all. In fact, I don't think Blackwood faced anything that was, this was, I don't think Vancouver had like a decent look. I'm not going to lie. I was like, this game's over. Like, I was half paying attention, to be completely honest with you, and everybody listening and watching. It appeared that this was just in complete control. Didn't notice anything that Blackwood was in danger from, and he's in complete control right now when he's in there. Okay, if it is an illness from Wedgwood, because look, it was very clear that Wedgwood gets the start tonight after Blackwood got the last start, and he was very good against Montreal, and Blackwood's been great since he's been back. That they're going to do what we were kind of forecasting. Alternate 1-1-1-1-1-1, switch. It was Wedgwood's turn tonight. The only thing about this upcoming road trip is you do have that weekend back-to-back. If it is just an illness for Scott Wedgwood, then he makes the trip. You give it a couple days, you're good to go. If not, then we are looking at a Trent Miner start, either in the Garden against the Rangers or in Philly against the Flyers. But it very well might be Wedgwood still making this trip if it is some sort of illness or just some sort of, I don't know, Advil, Tylenol. Is it a migraine? Is it something like that?
Again, it was classified in arena tonight as an upper body injury, and as we all know, the stomach is part of the upper body, the head is part of the upper body. Someone replied to me on Twitter with a GIF of the Family Guy going,
it's the mystery box. I actually saw the reply from the evangelist. Yes,
it could be anything. Be a boat. Yeah, it could even be an upper body injury. It could even be a tummy ache. Again, there's sickness going through that team. There's sickness going
Mhm.
through that building at Ball
Mhm.
Arena, both with the Nuggets and the Avalanche. I expect it to be an illness type of thing, whether it was a headache, or nausea. I do not expect him to miss time. I do not expect him to miss this road trip. Sure, you could see Trent Miner, but I think that is a very slim chance. You continue to ham and egg these guys game in and game out.
Well, okay. I mean, so you're ham and egging them. That means no matter what, because it was a Wedgwood start tonight, that Blackwood is starting in New York against the Islanders, who ended the Lightning's, I think, 7-game win streak tonight, although New York had dropped a few before tonight's game. And we saw that they got hot a couple weeks ago. No matter what, it is Blackwood on Thursday in Long Island. And then the question becomes, what is Wedgwood's status? Because if he's good to go, if we're alternating, he's starting in the Garden on Saturday morning, actually.
And the Rangers did help you out a touch
They
tonight.
did.
They handled. They still can't score at will in the Garden, but they put up three technically. They put up two actual goals and then win one. Well, no, they put up three. It wasn't a shootout. They put up three
In
real
overtime,
goals
I
tonight.
actually saw the overtime winner. It was a rebound off of Casey DeSmith's pads, put back, backhand. I can't remember who scored it for the
Vlad Gavrikov.
Gavrikov. That's right. You know, it's funny. The Stars had a 2-1 lead late in that game. They scored midway through the third period. It was Mikko Rantanen who scored. And it looked like Dallas was going to get both points. And then I felt like I was kind of following this game tonight. And it felt like the Stars were in control of that game until they went up 2-1. And then the Rangers fucking blitzed them. And they ended up almost doubling the shots on goal
Mm-hmm.
against the Stars in the back half of the third period in overtime. They came to life. Their best home performance of the season in the Garden. Now, in the short term, that helps you out. Overall, it helps you out because they took a point away from Dallas. But now on Saturday, and the Islanders will be tough on Thursday night either way. But certainly now Saturday in New York against the Rangers, that gives them some life. They've been struggling at home. That's a huge win for them. I know it was Casey DeSmith in net, not Jake Ottinger, but nonetheless, that Rangers game, they are going to get back to 500 at home. They
They
are
will.
going to. They're
The
too good.
roster is too good. Mike Sullivan is too good of a coach, and you have too good of a goaltender in Igor Shesterkin. Like Shesterkin, if you guys remember in our pre-season show that Spring and I did, he was my pick for the Vesna. As good as Spencer Knight has been, as good as Scott Wedgwood has been, Igor Shesterkin's putting up stupid numbers right now.
He's started like the last four. I think he started on a back-to-back for them this weekend.
He's that good, and they need him to be that good until they get completely right in the goal scoring department. What helps you out tomorrow is that Dallas has to turn around. Now it's not a true travel back to back, but you might get helped out by the New Jersey Devils tomorrow. Like someone needs to beat Dallas in regulation. I think Jersey is that team tomorrow. If that happens, you have to continue your win streak. You have to find a way to get a point against the Islanders. Now it's a tough game. We know that Patrick Waugh coaches against you very, very tough and tight. But Kyle Palmieri no longer with that team following his ACL injury. The coolest hockey play that we've seen in
Yeah,
terms
they
of just
showed the highlight on the broadcast tonight. I had not seen it until then. That was
badass play,
fucking
man.
awesome.
Badass. Tears his ACL behind the play, finds a way to pick a stick from Philly, makes a backhand cross zone sauce. Drouin kind of fumbles the puck a little bit, but it goes back to I forget who the Isles player was that actually ends up finishing the play. But the dude walks off after a torn ACL with the secondary assist.
I mean, that's hockey tough. And remember, Kyle Palmieri was the best player in that Avs Islanders game when they played
Yep.
a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. That sucks for them. You know, it's Patrick Waugh's team. It's an Eastern Conference team. I got, Drouin, Cal Ritchie, as the pants party in the chat pointed out. He got a point for the Islanders tonight. No ill will against the Islanders. Love that from Kyle Palmieri. That's a fucking gutsy ass play. And hey, it's where this road trip is a little tricky. These are all mid teams, but they're all good, capable. Like I say mid, they're all better than the Canucks. Certainly the first two.
They are
Both
all
new
playoff or playoff adjacent teams.
Even Nashville, and Nashville is the weakest of the four. Although I'm really disappointed in Philly last night. Not gonna lie, I had a little something on Philly to beat the Flyers or to beat the Penguins last night. Massive disappointment. Very disappointed in
I
Philly,
still
but
don't believe in them yet.
yeah. Well, hey, last night was an example. They're a solid. Look, Rick Tocchet, former Canucks coach, is now coaching the Flyers. They're capable. And that'll be the second day of a back-to-back. It's interesting how this 4-game schedule works out because the two best teams are the two to start. Certainly the Rangers are the best of the four, but the Islanders are very solid. So those are your first two. Philly and Nashville are the weaker of the two, but still capable. I mean, we saw the Nashville game
I forget about Nashville. I should say 3 of the 4 are playoff or
but
playoff
here's the
adjacent.
thing,
Nashville's
okay?
a lottery team.
That was a 1-0 game until the 2 empty netters and Nashville outshot Colorado in that game. They're healthy right now. The biggest point, though, is that's game 4. Oftentimes you see the last game of a road trip is the toughest one because you're just a little tired. So even though Nashville's the weakest of the 4, it's the 4th. You might be a little gassed at that point. And Philly, who's the second weakest team, is the second day of a back-to-back. So it actually is a weird little tricky road trip. That being said, this is the best team in the league. You're going over 500 on this road trip. I can't imagine you don't.
I think you should get points in 3 of 4. But again, they continue to get points in every game, so maybe that's an under expectation from me, giving them a little bit of slack. You mentioned the Predators being that final game; they'll be coming off of 2 days rest as well.
And
They have a
Nashville's
game.
won, I think, 3 in a row now.
Yeah, they just beat Calgary 5-1, but they do have 2 very difficult games coming up on the road. On Thursday and Saturday, they go to Florida and then they go to Carolina before having 2 days off. With the Avs. That might be the toughest 3-game stretch in the league in terms of opponents. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, Carolina Hurricanes, who are like perennial Eastern Conference contenders, and the best team in the world in 3 straight games.
Yeah, and sorry, 3 of 4 for Nashville. They did drop one at home to the Jets, but at Detroit, at Chicago, no slouches. Got those. Beat the Flames tonight. Lost at home to Winnipeg. Okay. Yeah, and that's a Wedgwood start. The Nashville game's a Wedgwood start if he's good to go, because that's every other. If Wedgwood's good and we're going every other night, then it's Blackwood Islanders, it's Wedgwood Rangers, it's Blackwood Flyers, it's Wedgwood Predators. Wedgwood, also a former Predator, traded for Jussi Saarinen.
Dude, I hope they. Okay, here it is from Jesse of Gorilla Sports. Bednar says Wedgwood's back tightened up a little bit, so they pulled him to be better safe than sorry. They say it's nothing serious as of now, so not necessarily the illness that is running through the team, but just the back was tightening up. So I think we can confirm that those pills that he grabbed from Colorado's trainer were some sort of pain management pills. Obviously not going to speculate on what they were, but pain management for a tightening back. He comes out. I would still expect him to be on the trip. I would still expect him to play against New York, considering he's scheduled to have a day off on Wednesday. On is that Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday. Their next game against the Islanders.
Okay. It being a tightening back does change things just a touch, as opposed to an illness, because an illness you can get over in a couple days and then you're good to go. Could they, out of an abundance of caution, with the long term in play, and Wedgwood is extremely important to this team, even though Blackwood is the guy who will start game 1 of the first round of the playoffs, you still want to give Wedgwood as many starts as you can right now, given how well he's played, and just to keep the load off of McKenzie. But since it's a back, out of an abundance of caution, do you go Blackwood? Obviously, no matter what, he was starting Thursday. But then do you start Blackwood 3 of the 4 and start Trent Miner in Philly?
Yeah,
I would
I
put
mean,
Blackwood in the Garden.
it's time. I don't expect the one game thing to happen the entire season. It'd be really cool if it did, but I do expect Mackenzie Blackwood at some point to be a starter that's starting 4 of 5 games. And maybe that begins now. Like Blackwood came in and pitched a shutout for the second half of
Yeah.
this game. He did not give up anything. Now he didn't get really tested until
No,
the
he
end of
didn't.
the
But
game.
he looks every movement he made was clean as hell.
Yeah, I'd look at Mackenzie Blackwood and go, "Hey, it's time to be the one again." And if he goes in and he wins those 3 games and he lets up let's say he lets up 3 goals total in those 3 games, it might be his net again. And that might and this is
Mm-hmm.
me assuming this is not me assuming. This is me taking your theory down the road and saying that they treat Wedgwood with an abundance of caution. Um in that situation, if they do hold Wedgwood off of starts and Blackwood continues to excel, I think that would be the end of the ham and egging.
Yes. But
I'm not rooting for that.
when Wedgwood's back is ready, I mean, I'm still playing him a good amount.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You don't want to run. We walked over all of those numbers where they were playing Philip Grubauer way too much, where they were playing Alexander Georgiev
Yeah.
way too much, and showed what happened to the Avs in the postseason. Not necessarily that it was the goaltender's fault, but like you just ran out of general steam. And the one year that you had a reliable backup goaltender was when Darcy Kemper and Pavel Francouz were going back and forth. Now, it wasn't one game, one game, one game, one game, but you could rely upon Pavel Francouz to play like 25 games that year and then step in the postseason.
Yeah. And I just mentioned how Igor Shesterkin played on a back-to-back, a weekend back-to-back. Is this past weekend? I think it was either Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday. He started both of those games. And they've ridden Shesterkin for 4 straight starts. And Jonathan Quick, who they do have, is a capable veteran backup. And so part of me is like, yeah, if they're doing that with Shesterkin, then you can do that with Blackwood. But here's the difference.
You don't need to.
The Rangers are desperate,
Yep.
which is funny because they win today and improved to 14, 12, and 2. The Metro is fucking packed right now. The Rangers are in second to last. And the Rangers coming into tonight were 2-8-1 at home. They're now 3-8-1 at home. So there was a sense of desperation. Like,
Dude,
we need to start Igor Shesterkin. We have to get this going. Colorado is not in that boat. They don't have to push Mackenzie Blackwood in that sense. But in the short term, if Wedgwood's back is a little messed up, you could start Mackenzie 3 of 4 in this 4-game roadie.
you were mentioning how close the Metro is right now. The Metro is separated from first to last by 2.5 wins.
By 5 points.
5 points. Right now,
Unbelievable.
the Atlantic between first and seventh is separated by 4 wins, 8 points. And you know who's in 8th place outside the 7 seed in the Atlantic?
I was just going to say, unbelievable.
The Florida Panthers.
The Florida Panthers are the worst team in the Eastern Conference. The Florida Panthers.
Injuries hurt, dude.
It's unbelievable because they're the best team in the East if 2 dudes are healthy. Dude, but guess what?
Imagine they get in as like the 8th seed and Carolina has to turn around and go, we just battled through a division with like 6 teams above 500 and we get to face Florida and they're magically healthy right now.
That's what I'm kind of hoping doesn't happen to Colorado.
Well,
there's a world
who's that team?
Where it could be Edmonton.
You put up
How about this
137
score
points and
tonight?
the Oilers are waiting for you in round 1.
Granted, the Avs would beat Edmonton in that series, but it wouldn't be a sweep. It might not even though they swept them in the conference finals recently. I know that. That's actually, I mean, it feels like I say recently. It's actually kind of a hop, skip, and it's actually not. It's kind of distant now. How about this score tonight? Oilers hosting the Wild.
Yeesh.
1-0 win for Minnesota. Jonas Brodin
Yeesh.
scores 7 minutes into the game, assisted by former Av Nico Sturm. That was it. Jesper Wallstedt. I think, is he 8-0? I think he's
Jesper
8-0.
Wallstedt is that dude is feeling it.
You know, this is why you want it to be Minnesota Dallas in the first round.
Dude,
Jesper Wallstedt and
could
that
bite
Wild
Dallas.
team would give Dallas problems. He's 9-3. Okay, he's
It's
9
even
and
funnier,
9-3 and
man.
2.
It's even funnier.
No,
when
he's
you
7-0
think
and 2. He's
7-0
7-0
and 2.
and 2.
It's even funnier when you think back to what we talked about what was it, 3 or 4 shows ago. Edmonton's the team that traded away the Wallstedt pick for a guy who's not even in the league.
Yeah, Minnesota's dangerous if that dude's the real deal. And he might be. But Blackwood's damn good, Wedgwood's damn good, but it appears that Wallstedt is damn good. So, and he's young. He's like 23 years old. That's a problem for years to come. Granted, goaltending is weird. We've seen guys show well and
Who
then
are the other
fall off.
stud Swedish goalies left in the league right now? Like, is Linus Ullmark the second
No,
best
he's not a
Swede?
stud. Like Jacob Markstrom, he's not a stud. They're good, but they're not studs.
Are those your 3 Swedish goalies in the Olympics this year? Probably.
I'm starting Wallstedt, and it's not even close.
Over those 2 dudes, without a doubt.
Hey, Gabe Landeskog is going to get to play with him, and maybe
Gabe's
it makes
got freaking
makes Sweden a little bit of an interesting team. Actually, if Gabe's coming on,
Gabe is playing, and he's at a point right now that like not only is he at a point, but the team is at a point where you don't mess up the apple cart. You don't upset that. And Bednar didn't tonight with the re-addition of Val Nichushkin. Nichushkin played third line minutes this evening, and I suppose they're probably bringing him back slowly. But like you can't take Ross Colton off of the Nelson and Landeskog line right now. As soon as they stop performing, sure, be my guest and send him back down. I'm not splitting those 3 dudes up because guess what it's done? It has reignited a $7 million player back to playing like a $7 million player. And he was going to be a an ornament on a Christmas tree for Team Canada. He was going to be a guy that was just there to be, look at Gabe Landeskog.
You mean Team Sweden, but yes.
Right. Or did I say Team Canada?
You did, yes.
Sorry, Team Sweden.
Of course.
Look at Team Sweden's captain. He's coming back after. This dude is an impact player now.
Yeah, no, he is. Okay, you're not wrong. But Val Nichushkin is a top 6 player. Granted, Ross Colton is playing damn well. I get what you're saying. I'm not sure I can go as far as to say that Ross Colton, and obviously Brock Nelson, has turned it the hell on too. But that like Ross, and I love Ross. We love Ross. We talked about Ross ad nauseum. We love Ross. I don't know if I can point to him as being the sole reason Landeskog has gotten it going. Certainly, he's been great. Ross has been great. And hey, if that's what they wanted to do, I wouldn't protest. But I love me some Valeri Nichushkin. And look, if I'm just pitting player A versus player B, it's Val versus Ross. And I love Ross. I'm choosing Val.
Of course. Your ideal lineup is MacKinnon in the middle of Natchez and Lehkonen, Nelson in the middle of Landeskog and Nichushkin. Pick and choose who you want to play the off wing there. I'll probably put Val on his off wing because I like him as a shooter a little bit better. And then you move Colton down to that third line. That's what you should be. But what I'm saying is like I'm not going to make that change
Sure.
until the second line stops producing or until the team stops winning at this historic
That's
clip.
that's fair. That's totally fair. And there's also, as you alluded to, the sense of this is Val's first game back from his lower body injury, and as this team has been in no rush for anything. You can slow play it. You can ease Val in. You can manage his minutes, much like they were managing Landeskog's minutes. But dude, speaking of Landeskog, and let's see, I saw. I'll bring this comment up from the Pants Party. His nickname is the Great Vol. I like that.
It's a good nickname.
Jesper Volstedt. Okay. The Four Nations was last spring, and USA Canada was the money matchup, and it will remain the money matchup. And even then, back then, there was the whole Canada's the 51st state thing, which was a whatever it was.
Because old Donnie was talking about buying Trudeau out of Canada.
Oh boy. Added to it is my point. There was tension.
Yes.
In addition, but primarily, like, those are the two best teams. They are the two best teams. But one thing that crossed my mind even after that tournament ended, and it was just, again, the Four Nations. For example, we'll get to see Marty Necas and David Pastrnak and Team Czechia. I keep wanting to call them the Czech Republic, but apparently they're Czechia now.
Czechia.
Yes. Damn shame. Well, I say damn shame. I mean, from a sporting standpoint, I'd love to see Val Nichushkin on Team Russia, but
from a true sporting perspective, it's a travesty that Russia's not in this tournament.
Exactly. From a sporting perspective, it sucks. But one thing that crossed my mind with the Four Nations was, everyone was like, "Oh, the Olympics are in a year, and oh boy, that gold medal game is going to be USA Canada," and I was like, We sure about that? I mean, if Jesper Volstedt's going to play like this, and if Gabe Landeskog's back, who this... Hell, fucking Mikko and Arturi Lehkonen reunited on Team Finland? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
The Swedes have a chance. The Finns always find a way to... Like, you and I have talked about this a lot of times on the show. The Finns always find a way to medal. So I could see the Finns getting bronze. The two best teams in the world are Canada and the US right now.
Yeah, but sometimes upsets happen.
Oh, they certainly do. I mean,
what would that do for international hockey if it wasn't USA Canada in the final? Would it hurt? In terms of a U.S. viewing, from a U.S. ratings standpoint, TV ratings,
from a United States TV ratings standpoint, it would hurt tremendously. I think the best second scenario is Canada-Sweden in exchange for it. But if the Americans aren't playing, the hockey numbers will tank.
Yeah, the U.S. TV ratings will tank if the USA is not in it. I mean, me. And I'll be rooting for Team USA, but I will also, as long as Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar and Devon Toews are on Team Canada, and then to see Landeskog on Team Sweden, and hell, I'll root for Lehkonen on Team Finland, and then it will be interesting to see Lehkonen reunited with Mikko Rantanen. And I wonder if Ismo will be involved in any way.
Dude, that Russian team would be so much fun. I don't think the Russians would scare you. I think they would be... I think Finland or Sweden would beat them in the quarters, where they would...
I don't know, because you'd have Shesterkin in net.
So Shesterkin, Vasilevsky...
Ooh, and Vasilevsky, that's right.
Sorokin are your three goalies.
That's a pretty dangerous goaltending room right there.
You have Malkin, Kaprizov, Kucherov is your top line, which is terrifying.
You got Panarin, you got Nichushkin, you got Michkov.
You have Michkov, you have Buchnevich, you have Svechnikov. You have Ovi. We're not even talking about the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
Marchenko and Voronikov in Columbus would likely make that team.
Is Sergachev's Russian, right? The defenseman?
Sergachev on, yeah. So defense, like what used to be the thing about the Russian team is you had all of these elite scorers and then nobody could play defense. Like nobody could play defense, and then
Mm-hmm.
you'd have to rely upon elite goal scoring and then elite goaltending, but nobody on the blue line. Think about the Russian defenders now, man. Like Sergachev,
Is Provorov Russian?
Provorov is Russian.
Mm-hmm.
Sergachev is Russian. Romanov is Russian, although he would
Oh,
likely miss the Olympics.
yeah.
Again, we're doing this because we're doing this in jest because Russia's obviously not playing, but
Well, it actually is kind of fascinating. They'd have a good little team.
yeah, Dmitry Orlov, Vlad Gavrikov on the back end. Dude, that is a travesty.
Yeah.
They're not
I'm
playing.
telling you, like, I honestly think the
Athletically.
road for the USA and Canada to meet in the gold medal game is not set in stone. And I'm fascinated by Landeskog on Team Sweden. I really am. And that's going to mean something to him.
Does he wear the captain's C for them?
I mean, you'd have to give me the other options, but I mean, how could he
Hedman.
not?
It's probably him or Hedman. Carlson.
Nah, Gabe Landeskog he is him. Victor Hedman has had a great career and is a leader, but Gabe Landeskog is him.
Here's your projected roster for 2026 Olympics and Team Sweden. This is according to NHL.com. Your forwards, Jesper Bratt, great player.
Yeah,
Leo
good player.
Carlson, Willie Eklund, Joel Eriksson Ek, Philip Forsberg, William Carlson, Adrian Kempe, Elias Lindholm, Willie Nylander, Elias Pettersson, Lucas Raymond, Fabian Zetterlund, Mika Zibanejad, Gabriel Landeskog. Your defenseman, Rasmus Anderson, Jonas Brodin, who you mentioned earlier, scoring the lone goal in the Minnesota and Edmonton game. Rasmus Dahlin, who is still you forget
Ooh.
about they've got a really good blue line. Matthias Ekholm, Gustav Forsling, Eric Carlson, Victor Hedman, Hampus Lindholm.
Zetterlund, too, the Senators player. He scored some goals recently. Look, man. And with that Landeskog juice, like that's just gonna mean something, because he almost shouldn't be there, but he is,
And
and he will.
The Swedes will travel south to Italy well. Like the
There's that
Swedes will
too.
be there. The European fan bases will be there heavily compared to the US and Canada having to go over the Atlantic.
Here's another thing too. The Champions League is going on because I'm a degenerate in European hockey right now, and the Swedes all have the Swedish teams are the best teams.
The worst thing about that Champions League in terms of betting it is the games go to overtime.
Yeah,
But even if you bet, like if you bet a team to win and it goes to overtime and they win in overtime, you lose your bet because
yeah. I
it's a
hate the three-way
60-minute money
lines.
line. It's
Yeah, the three-way
brutal.
lines suck. But the Swedish teams, like the SHL, the Swedish league of the Euro leagues, it's best league. So yeah, Swedish hockey is the real deal. Yeah, and there's no man. I will just have a soft spot in my heart for watching Gabe Landeskog play for Team Sweden. I mean, I can't help but root for that man.
Would you find it easier to root for Sweden than the Canadians? Because there's two Avs on that
Yeah,
Canadian
I
team,
know.
three Avs on that Canadian team that you love.
I know. That's so interesting. Like, who would I mean, it's kind of a win-win. Well,
Right, let's say the
Canada's like the
Americans
rival of USA though. But I'm telling you, there's just something about Landeskog and his story
right.
that I just want all the success for Gabe Landeskog. So there you go.
All right, Spring. We spent 20 minutes talking about Olympic hockey and 10 of those 20
because
minutes talking about a team that literally can't play in the Olympics because, well, the Avalanche won a game that should have simply been simulated.
yes, I mean, I guess just a couple things before we get out of here. I mean, really just the first goal that they score, Nichushkin is back. He does a great job controlling the puck down the wing and setting that thing up. Sam Malinsky, we should mention Sam Malinsky getting that puck through. Sam Malinsky gets another puck through. And that's the rebound for MacKinnon, who puts it back and in and ties it up, and the rest was history.
Yeah, the two passes that Landeskog makes tonight are excellent. The stretch pass to Nelson, the little seam pass to get a puck to Nathan MacKinnon for his second of the game, both elite passes, another multi-point game for him. If you take the 5 points that he should have already had that have been taken away from him this year, he'd be up to 18. And then you go, oh, that dude is that that dude's $7 million, and he's back, man. Avs continue to be unbeatable at home, 11-0-2. They'll go off on a 4-game road trip that starts on Thursday evening on the island against New York. They'll play Saturday night against the Rangers, turn it, or rather Saturday midday against the Rangers, turn around the next day on Sunday and do the same thing, a little matinee action against Philadelphia, and then they finish it up Tuesday at Nashville before returning home on Thursday, December 11th, to take on the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion, worst team in the Eastern Conference, Florida Panthers. Spring, they're a wagon, and
Yeah.
cannot wait to watch these guys continue to win games.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like tonight's show, we predicted it. It was the easiest prediction in the world. It was a kind of a nothing game. Avs played well. Thursday night against the Islanders, Avs are the better team. Beat them at home recently in the midst of like a 6-7 road stretch for the Islanders. But that's a tougher one. That's a tougher one. Like they could in a realistic world drop Thursday night in Long Island. So we'll be locked into that one. We'll have a very real breakdown of that one. All the ins and outs of that one, because that's a real one on
That's one that
Thursday
you
night.
don't sit. That's one that you don't sim through.
Yeah.
You don't hit X
Yeah.
in advance day.
Yeah, I don't look at the Islanders game like I looked at tonight's game, where I was like, dude, there's no universe where Vancouver wins this game. There is a universe where the New York Islanders win on Thursday night. So that'll be fun.
All right, that's going to do it for Mark Springer. I'm Alex Ryan Emmy. We'll talk to you guys coming up on Thursday evening as the Avs take on the New York Islanders, the first of a 4-game road trip. You can listen to those games on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning bright and early. Brett Kane's out. He's doing what I'm doing. He's welcoming a new baby girl and in the nursery. So I've got people meeting the baby this week. That's the reason why I'm not in my studio. And it's nice and pink and fluffy behind me today.
It looks
Tune in.
adorable.
I know, isn't it? I could show you the rest of the room. It is very pink and light, and you feel happy when you're in here. DMAC is on tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Don't miss it. We'll see you guys Thursday.